Okay, the first thing you do is cable cast on 210 stitches. I'm not going to cable cast on 200 stitches, but it'll be enough that you'll be able to see what's going on. This is for my linen stitch bandana cowl, and Holly Stone, Viberatic Studios. So for cable cast on, you insert your needle between the first and second stitch, then you do a yarn over, pull it through, and then you take it up and over the top of the needle, sort of a knitwise, slip it knitwise. So you're going like that. Okay. I need to change the battery. Okay. Okay, now I have a short cast on. I'm going to just do this one. I'm going to do a magic loop, so I'm going to split it in half and pull the stitches through. Try to keep from twisting, although it's not the end of the world if you do. But it makes it look a little better if you don't twist it. So, sliding the needle all the way to the end, and then I also need to slide the needle on this side over so I can take the first loop and move it over to the other side. This is the best way I've found to join in the round, is to slip the last stitch knitted onto the other needle and then knit two together to start. So here I have both of them. See? And I'm going to move the stitch here. Just flip it over to the start. It's hard to see, I know. There. Okay, so now I have the first and last stitch together on the left needle. So now I'm going to pull the right needle out and I'm going to start knitting. And I'm going to knit a base row to start with. So, trying not to twist. I'm going to knit these two together and then keep knitting. So I was supposed to put a stitch marker on right there, so I'm going to go ahead and take that stitch back off the needle, slip the marker on, slip the knitted stitch back. Okay, so now I'm just going to knit all the way around, and of course I'm going to pause and finish the row, and although if you want to see me work the magic loop part, then hold on and I'll do it here in a moment. I like the cable cast on because it makes a nice firm knitted edge, so it looks good. Okay, so you get to the end of the first half, roughly half, and then magic loop is great because basically you're just going to turn the work. You're going to slip the working needle into the stitches and then pull out the other one, and then you just keep going. So there you go. Okay, I'm going to finish the row and then I'll be back. Okay, I've rearranged my stitches so that there's not, see, wherever your magic loop is, it puts some stress on it, and it was putting a stress here in the middle, plus we're working right here. This is the front of the yarn. This is where I placed my first, or the front of the work, and this is where I placed my first stitch marker. So I've got a loop on this side of it, and a loop on this side of it. So we're going to work back and forth in the middle here, so you know that'll change as I get further along. But I'm close to the end. I've got like six more stitches before I hit the marker. So I'm going to knit 5. All right? So I'm going to knit until I reach the last stitch before the marker. I hope you can see what I'm doing okay. All right, so there's 5 stitches. There's the last stitch sitting there. So now what I want you to do is place a second marker right there. The 2 markers will help you keep track of where you are when you're knitting your short rows. So, and it's really easy, don't panic. All right, you're going to slip 2 stitches onto the right needle from the left, purlwise. So you're going to slip the first stitch. You're going to remove the marker, which is the middle, very middle of the work. You're going to slip the second stitch purlwise. All right, and now you're going to knit 1 stitch. So you're going to knit 1, and you're going to pass those 2 slip stitches. See, they're in blue. You're going to pass those over the knitted stitch. So slip 2, knit 1, pass slip stitches over. There you go. So now you're going to bring the yarn to the front of the work. See, it's in front now. And then you're going to slip 1 like that. Again, purlwise. Now you're going to place the marker on your left needle, and you're going to turn your work. So now we're going to go back the other way. So let's see, so where's my instructions? So now we're on row 3. So there's 2 stitches on the marker here, 1 knitted stitch that had the passovers, and then 1 slip stitch with the yarn is now wrapped around it, as you see. See? So it's wrapped from the back to the front. All right. So now on row 3, you're going to purl 1. So you purl the first stitch, see? And it's sort of wrapped with the pink. All right. And then you're going to slip 1 with yarn and back. Slip 1 with yarn and back, so the yarn is behind the needle. See, I'll do that again. So the yarn is in the back. You're going to slip the yarn onto the needle, and then you're going to remove the marker. You're going to purl 1. So you gotta purl 1 here, and see, this is the linen stitch where you're slipping with 1 in the back. So now you're purling 1, and then you're going to again slip 1 with the yarn and back, and then you're going to place your second marker, your end of row marker, on your left needle, and you're going to turn your work. All right. Bring the yarn around to the back now, because you're going to be knitting. So you see you've got a little bit of a point here. You see? And you've got 4 stitches on the needle. All right, now you're going to knit 1. And you're going to slip 1 with yarn in front. And here, this is the linen stitch. Slip it with yarn in front. And then you're going to do that again. You're going to knit 1. You're going to slip with the yarn in front. See, the yarn's in front. Okay, so you've got 2 linen stitches after your marker. Now you're going to remove the marker on the left needle and take it off for a moment. And now you're going to do your turn. So you're going to knit 1, slip 1 with yarn in front. So the yarn's in the front, and you're going to slip 1 purlwise. And then you're going to place the marker back on the needle because you're at the end of your row. So the end of your row is always the slip with yarn in front or back, and then the turn. Okay. All right. So now we have, now we're on the 5th row. So there's a little bit of a point there. See, it's a little harder to see, but okay. Should have done with big yarn, huh? All right, so now on the 5th row, we're going to purl 1. All right. And then we're going to slip 1 with yarn and back, and we're going to do that 3 times. So that's 1. And then we're going to purl 1 again. So bring the yarn to the front, purl it. And then you're going to take it back, slip with the yarn and back. And see, there's 4 stitches. You do it one more time. Bring it to the front, purl 1. Take it back, slip with the yarn and back. Now you're going to remove the marker, and then you're going to make your turn. So you're going to, let's see, purl 1, and then with the yarn and back, you're going to, with the yarn in back, slip 1. You're going to place the marker, and then you're going to turn your work. And the trick to turning your work is to basically, what I do is I bring the yarn to the yarn is in back because you just slipped it with the yarn in back. You're going to bring the yarn to the front. Okay, so now it's in the front, and then you're going to turn your work there. And now the yarn's in the back ready for you to knit. Okay. All right, so here's your little point. So see, the yarn's in the back. So we're on number 6. So you're going to knit 1, slip, then bring the yarn to the front, slip it, and you're going to do that 4 times now. So that's 1. So you're going to bring the yarn to the back, knit 1, bring the yarn front, slip it. Take the yarn back, knit it, take the yarn front, slip it. Oop. One more time. So basically you do this until you reach the marker. See, knit 1, slip it with the yarn in front. Now you remove the marker and make your turn. So you do 1 more knit, and then you bring the yarn forward, slip it, and then basically you're going to move the yarn back behind. You're going to turn it. And, you know, I could have placed the marker before, but actually it's easier if you wait till you get there and then place the marker on the needle. And so there you have it. So we're making a point here. As you can see, it's kind of small. All right. If I do this again, I'll do bigger yarn. All right. So now you're going to do a purl. So this is 7. So take the yarn behind, slip it, bring it in front, purl it, and then take it behind, slip it, and you just work to the marker. So take it in front, purl it, take it behind, slip, purl, take it behind, slip, purl. So you're always bringing the yarn to the front of the work, even when you're working, because this is a wrong side row, so the yarn goes in the back. All right, take the marker off. Turn, and of course your yarn's in the back, right? A back of the way it's currently facing, it's in the front of the work. So you bring it forward, turn it, and now it's in the back. Again, you place your start of row marker so you don't forget, and then you start working the front of the linen stitch, which is bringing the yarn to the front. And so knit, bring the yarn forward, knit again, bring the yarn forward and slip, knit, bring the yarn forward and slip, bring it to the back, knit, bring it forward, slip it. So you work to the next marker. So you knit, bring the yarn forward and slip it, and then bring your yarn to the back, take your marker off and make the turn. Do 1 more knit stitch, bring the yarn forward and slip, and then you just turn. So you're really doing just 1 more linen stitch before you turn, but it creates a short row because you're incorporating the next 2 stitches in your sequence, and so you're increasing on each end of the row 2 stitches at a time. So it pretty much creates a 45-degree angle. All right, so same thing now, purl, bring it to the